Sorry guys, I'm on my 15th watch of Sonic Movie 2 on digital. In reality, this is actually my 30th watch of Sonic Movie 2 in total, including theaters. If you guys don't know, the film just recently released on digital, so I've been watching it on Paramount Plus. I actually have 3 more showings for the rest of the day. I'd be lying if I said I wish we didn't have news on Sonic Movie 3. I could only wish I could get something more on that movie. I need some more. Would you look at that? There's news on the new Sonic movie. There's news on the new Sonic movie! You hear that? I don't need you anymore! I have another movie to look forward to in 2 years! Oh. Hey, what's up everyone? It's me, Speed Supersonic, bringing you guys another video, and in this video today, we are back again to talk about Sonic Movie 3. That's right, we are back again talking about one of my most anticipated upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog projects, even though I'm not sure exactly when we're going to get it. It's definitely a while out. We just got Sonic Movie 2, but because the movie is now released on home media, if you guys don't know, it just literally released on Paramount Plus only a few days ago. You can also rent the movie, which would be awesome if you do that as well. We're gonna start getting news for the next Sonic movie, which is very exciting. We're gonna get news on who's working on it, who's doing what. We might get some casting announcements, some shooting dates. Definitely a similar trajectory to what happened with the last movie that we just received after the first movie released. And it seems like we definitely got our biggest news for Sonic Movie 3 recently just now, and it's thanks once again to the writers Pat Casey and Josh Miller. If you guys don't know, they are the writers on the first 2 Sonic movies, and they are basically confirmed now to be writing Sonic Movie 3. They recently did this Q&A session at Klamath Community College where they talked about the Sonic movies and were asked questions about different stuff going on with that part of the franchise. And there were a lot of questions about Sonic Movie 3, and we have a lot of answers about Sonic Movie 3, not just with how the movie works, but in specific with characters like Shadow and the potential of Amy. But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Random Dice Defense. Random Dice Defense is a free mobile game and the first of the random tower defense genre, where you set up dice towers with various abilities and defend against incoming enemies in PvP and co-op modes. First, you can build your own deck. You can create custom battle decks of 5 different dice with unique abilities, with millions of combinations to match millions of different playstyles. Not just that, but when you merge the same type of dice with the same number of dots, you will get 1 level higher dice tower. Tower type changes randomly when you merge. Also, summon, merge, or power up. Use SP strategically. Summoning a greater number of weaker dice can be better than having a small number of strong dice. One of my favorite features of Random Dice Defense is its great background music and almost ASMR-like sound effects. It's the perfect game to play while trying to relax. So what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description to download Random Dice Defense and build your own deck today. So any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this and see everything that Patrick Casey and Josh Miller had to say about the upcoming 3rd film. All of this comes from a Tales Channel article. They put all of this together, so I'll be reading from that. First, when asked about Amy and if she could appear in the sequel, the duo couldn't answer properly due to a non-disclosure agreement, but said that things are in the works. Kind of similar to other characters in relation to the Sonic movie franchise when I was previously about that, like before the second movie came out, they're not really able to say like a yes or no about that, so we don't know if Amy's going to be in the movie or not. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. This is not confirming anything, but once again, like I've said, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that Amy is in this movie, just a little bit unlikely, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm very excited to see if that's going to happen or not, and if they can get her character right. But if anybody has the potential to get her character right, it's definitely these guys. In regards to Jim Carrey possibly retiring from acting, the duo was hopeful to bring him back for the 3rd film, but said that it was mainly up to Carrey. Now this part is really interesting because this is going to cause like a little bit of an issue for the writing, I think, right now, or they might just have to develop like multiple scripts. If he's going to retire, you kind of have to write a new script where he's dead, because if you don't know, at the end of Sonic Movie 2, the door's kind of left open on if he's dead or not. But if he wants to come back, you'll have no issue with that. So they're in a really tricky spot where they have to get like a definitive answer on if he will be back, or they'll have to develop multiple scripts, I'm sure, like whether he's going to be in the movie or not. So they need to try everything they can do to get Jim Carrey back, because that's a pretty big blow if you don't get him. But that's still interesting to hear. Next, Miller, Josh Miller, was careful not to comment on specific plot points for the 3rd film, but concluded concluded it was not revealing, given Shadow's introduction to the movie franchise, that there are plans to incorporate elements from Sonic Adventure 2 and the Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off game in the film. Now this is interesting. We definitely knew that there was going to be elements from Sonic Adventure 2 in this. They've already been kind of setting that up with the GUN being introduced in Sonic Movie 2, and obviously Shadow simply being in the movie is already like SA2 enough. But the interesting part is that they're going to be taking inspo from the Shadow the Hedgehog game, which if you don't know, is one of the most, you know, tumultuous Sonic titles that there is. It's not necessarily the most loved, but it has its quirks. In all seriousness, I think the Shadow the Hedgehog story had promise. It's just there was like 50 million different stories. We won't have to run into that issue here. But I still think it's really interesting that they're going to be looking at that and taking aspects, because it does tie into SA2 obviously. It's about Shadow and his story. I'm just interested in what they're going to take from that. Are we going to get Black Doom? That is definitely a Shadow the Hedgehog element. Not really sure. Are they going to take the Amnesia route? Not really sure. There's a lot of different stuff that's in Shadow the Hedgehog that's not in SA2 that they can pull from. I think Black Doom's a very big stretch. When I say a big stretch, I mean like a big stretch. But if he's in this, I'm gonna make this bet right now, so like you guys can come back to this in 2 years when the movie releases. If Black Doom is in this movie, I will buy a Shadow the Hedgehog costume, put it on a motorcycle, just terrorizing my town. Legally, of course, no guns, don't worry. And I'm not joking. I know that sounds like a joke, but I will do that if Black Doom is in this movie. So Patrick Casey and Josh Miller, if Black Doom is in this movie, you get that from me. Alright, so what's next? Nothing can be said about Shadow's voice actor, but the idea of aiming for a famous Hollywood actor to voice the Hedgehog is not ruled off. This has been discussed for a while. My friend Splash Dash, he made a video talking recently about Shadow's voice actor, and I completely agree with him. Shadow will be voiced by a celebrity. I think I've stated this before plenty of times. Especially if you lose Carrie, you need star power. Kirk Thornton, I'm sure he's a really nice guy, not a great Shadow. Jason Griffith hasn't officially voiced Shadow in over 10 years, and David Humphries is 20 years away, plus 20 years away from voicing this character. They are not bringing back a Shadow voice actor. I will fully guarantee you guys that it will be a celebrity. Will it be Keanu or Robert Pattinson? We have no idea. I doubt it will be one of them, but definitely expect a big Hollywood name to voice Shadow the Hedgehog, a very iconic, popular character, and your biggest character of the next movie. So of course it hasn't been ruled off, because they're not the ones who make that decision. The studio and like the director and the producers are really the ones who make that decision, and I can almost guarantee you they will be shooting for a Hollywood star, because Colleen, I said, was an exception to a rule. So yeah, definitely look out for a Hollywood A-lister to play Shadow. Who it will be, once again, not sure, but I'd expect news on that probably next year. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is currently on what is called the blue sky phase of script writing, where every idea of what the movie could be is being proposed, and the staff streamlines it into what the movie should be. I would die to be a fly on the wall at like Paramount Pictures or wherever Patrick Casey and Josh Miller are sitting it together in their room, just writing this together. I just want to hear the ideas that they're tossing around. And also, I'd like to write the movie with you guys. Once again, Patrick Casey and Josh Miller, if you're watching this, my email is public. The producers are aware of the fans' desire to get Crush 40 to appear in a Sonic film. Even though the movie planning is early, Casey did not rule off the idea of getting the band in the next film. So just a warning, all these are very like political, like Hollywood answers, where they're not going to reveal too much. But there's an interesting tidbit about Sonic music being in the Sonic movies that was released in the director's commentary for Sonic Movie 2, where Jeff Fowler, during the scene where Sonic and Knuckles were kind of trapped underwater and were getting back up, they were talking about having Sonic music in the movie and trying to get it in there, but it just didn't fit. And I know this upsets a lot of fans because you want to hear your Crush 40 and your Sonic music and your Sonic movie, but when I've seen people edit Sonic music into the movie over the score, it just doesn't sound right. I'm sorry. I've stated I'm not the biggest Crush 40 guy. I know, kill me, don't. But even like other music, like orchestral stuff, I'm like, it just doesn't fit still. And it's like, I know you want this to be just like everything you've known before, but sometimes you gotta make exceptions, and it just doesn't fit for me personally whenever I've listened to it. So if they get them, cool. If they don't, cool. I can't think of a real place in the movie where you have this butt rock song playing out of nowhere. It's just like, it'd be so distracting and out of place, but we'll see. Miller said, in each new Sonic movie, as long as the people got the appetite for them, we'll keep adding yet another person from the game universe. So that's an interesting note. They said a person, so maybe I'm digging too much into this, but this next one is Shadow. The last one we got two. We got Tails and Knuckles. You're gonna run into a problem in terms of adding too many characters into the movie at some point. I think after movie 3, you might need to like stop. So if they go for a Sonic movie 4 and that happens, I'm interested in seeing how they're going to handle bringing in more characters. I just really hope it doesn't get too convoluted, but I don't know, the Avengers has like 50 million characters, so. But yeah, once again, we don't know everybody who's going to be in this movie. We know that Shadow's going to be in this movie confirmed, but there's always the question of, is Amy going to be in this movie? That's been brought up a lot. We got Rouge being brought up a lot, or is she going to be in the movie as well? There's a lot of question marks around all of this, so we'll have to wait and see, but still excited to see who could be added later down the line beyond 3. And our last thing right here is that the current plan is to get the third movie released in 2024. That's right, for all the people who are thinking 2023 potentially, it's not happening. I was one of those people for like a little bit where I was like, could it be 2023? Because they announced this like early, but they said 2024 is the goal to get the movie out. I am perfectly fine with that. I am perfectly fine waiting until 2024 to get this, because that's a year where we're guaranteed to get another Sonic movie, and when there's a new Sonic movie, it's just always a great year for Sonic. So we already know 2024 is going to be an amazing year for the Sonic franchise, like 2022 has been. Awesome, just keeping up the streak of like every other year you get a new Sonic movie. So always have that to look forward to. And remember guys, like the second Sonic movie came in like a flash after the first movie release, so it'll be here in no time. Like you'll blink and it'll be right around the corner. But with all of that, those were all of the answers and info we got from Patrick Casey and Josh Miller at their little Q&A panel. All of this stuff was very juicy and interesting. We got a decent amount of info on Shadow, which was awesome. And they didn't hint at Amy, but simply that being asked is and getting some kind of answer was interesting. But yeah guys, I am so excited for Sonic Movie 3. This movie is going to be incredible. I want to know what you guys think of what Patrick Casey and Josh Miller had to say in the comment section down below. Does this get you excited? Are you a little hesitant on anything they said? I'd love to know what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. Feel free to follow my social media, links to my Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. You can follow those, find things like my life, feature content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic, whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, merchandise, and more. We talk about it all. So to stay tuned, to be the first to hear on all things Sonic Movie 3, this is the spot to be. Thank you all once again for watching this video. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Tell me